Okay. Hello, good morning. It's Monday, a day just after Valentine's Day yesterday, and we are back. Why? You think we won't come? We are back. So I'm wondering, people are asking, how did you spend your Valentine's Day? So I just ran by you after church. Came to eat some few balls of PenyGh. I don't know how fermented that corn was. Charlie, I was sleeping right after 12 o'clock. Like I slept from 12 to 4. Then I eventually woke up. Then went to the shop to do my usual sales like that. And then, no, in between 4, I had to quickly go to the Total filling station around the neighborhood to get some few stuff. I got myself chocolate. Nice one from the shelf like that. Enjoyed it. I think I overate. It worried my tummy this morning. But this is how I spent my Valentine. How did you spend your... Somebody's listening and say, this is boring. When people are doing other stuff, you are eating PenyGh and sleeping and getting chocolate. And that's what I said to myself. Okay, this is what I have. I have PenyGh. I can get myself a nice bar of chocolate, which I enjoyed. And that's it. But see, don't get it wrong. Oh. Someday we'll do the Dubai. We will do the Santorinis. We will do the Mauritius. We will do the cruise on the ship and all that. But now this is what we have. So we enjoyed what we had yesterday. And Charlie, we are here this morning. How did you enjoy your Valentine's Day? Are you there? You are not a Valentine person. Whether Valentine Day or no Valentine Day, every day is a day of expressing love, right? Whatever it is. I mean, we all have varied opinions on issues. There are people who celebrate, there are those who don't. And for me, if you celebrate, I can't fault you. This is what you want. If you want to do and turn the day upside down, I mean, that's you. But in as much as we are having fun and all that, we still not forget the fact that we are children of God. And that we should have fun in a godly way. You understand, right? Yeah. So that's it. Good morning. Welcome to Random Thought with Maxine. And this morning, I don't know. I'm like, Dominic, I want to do this topic. I wasn't too sure about it, but I'm like, Charlie, let's just hit it. So we'll go straight into today's topic. Have you ever had someone telling you, you are not my type? It's a bitter pill to swallow, right? Then I was like, why would somebody tell someone you are not my type? But now I have come to realize it's the truth. You are not their type. You are not their type. And there's nothing you can do about it. But you see, then it felt like it's a way of demeaning the other party who tells you how they emotionally, romantically, physically, sexually feel about you. So here goes. Maybe you like the person for their intellectual abilities, how they're able to hold a nice convo. Their discourse is on point. They are abreast with current issues and all that. But in other news, you do not like how they look. You do not like maybe their mannerisms. But all that you are attracted to is their intelligence. And the person is catching feelings for you romantically. And you are trying to tell the person that, brother, where you are going, that is not where I want to go with you. And you have given signal 1, 2, 3, and they are still on the matter. They do not want to give up, and it can get frustrating. I don't know if somebody has ever told you you are not my type, and you have ever felt demeaned by what they said, or you think, that's derogatory. How can you say this to me? And people have held people in their hearts for God knows how many years. The people have moved on. They have married. They have kids. And you still remember that girl told you that you are not his type. Don't you think they did you a favor by being honest and blunt with you? I mean, in as much as we think it's a bitter pill to swallow, what would you have prepared or preferred? That the person led you on, chopped all your money, left you in that shallow state, and later breaks the news to you that I have somebody and I think you are not my type. This morning we are talking, you are not my type. Why do we say that? And I've already given a premise or a background to it. And we all have personal experiences. I don't remember vividly telling somebody you are not my type. But my actions will let you know that you are not my type. But you see, there are times that I speak from a lady's perspective. There are some guys who would push you to the wall. You are telling the person, don't come to my house, he's coming. You are telling the person, I am busy, they are coming. You are telling the person, don't send me this text messages, I don't appreciate it. They are sending. And it gets to your point, you are like, you are just at the edge of giving up. And it comes with so many emotions bottled up because you think you are just being honest with them. You are being rational. You are trying to save their human face and tell them in a nice and a polite manner. But you think that telling somebody you are not my type is a polite way of sending a signal that I think I'm not feeling you the way you are feeling me. Yeah, blow. Yeah, blepa. Like, now I sit here and I just recount all the memories. And sometimes it's not so pleasant, especially when you're not married. You know, when you're not married, there's a whole rationale at the back of everybody's mind that you are available. That's it. There's no ring on your finger. So from old men who are nearing retirement, to those who want people to come and fetch water for them, to those who you think probably are just catching you down and getting them for their sons. Meanwhile, they are the ones who are interested. All these are things we have to deal with on a regular basis just because there is no ring on your finger. And you know, then you are not too sure how to say it politely and not hurt their feelings, especially with the older folks. These few weeks I have been dealing with this man who is a pain in my neck. He will bring me meat pie. I say, hey, but Papa, why? That time she will just come and more 6 CDs and 7 CDs on the sea. I say, this man, I mean, like I can't really understand. Is he looking for a wife for the son, grandson, or somebody has said that, oh, there's this lady around this neighborhood that you should check out? What is his real intention? I mean, if this man is able to muster enough courage and pops the question, I want to marry, what can I tell that person? When I know, obviously, you are older than my dad. This is not to say that dating older men is maybe for you, it's a yes for you. But for me, no, I don't like. I like not. But you are listening and you like. I mean, that's what I said from the onset. Obiane diope. There are people who have a vibe with the older folks. There are people who enjoy the company of people who are far advanced in age. Me, I don't. So if you enjoy it, doesn't mean I should enjoy it. If you like old men, doesn't mean I know I've gotten my taste. I have what I know I want. And so I sit here and I reflect on the moment that we find it extremely difficult telling people that you are not my type. Not only with the people who are within our age range, okay? There are people who are even way older than us. And that's where the problem is. That what is it that they want? How can we tell them that, Grandpa, where you are heading towards, I can't take you there? And even those people that ordinarily we are age mates and we can relate so easily with, does it come with some level of ease when you are telling them that, boss, the way you are feeling me, it is not how I'm feeling you? As I said, you may be attracted to the person intellectually. You enjoy their conversation. Maybe there are some philosophies they hold on to that you think, you vibe with. But emotionally, you don't see yourself connecting with them. Have you ever tried telling somebody that, boss, I like your intellectual abilities. I like your philosophical abilities. But I don't like your physical abilities or your physical outlook. How are you able to say that without sounding offensive? But see, what you don't like, you don't like. So I don't understand which parts of the conversation that comes with the struggle. But I can understand from a point of view, somebody have seen you, they have been observing you, they think they have a sin for you. So they can just not understand why they can't look your direction and look elsewhere. Who is looking your direction that you know, madam, look south, because me, I'm looking north. Or somebody's looking at you from the east and you're thinking, can you look west? Because it's the east I'm heading towards. And have you ever tried telling somebody in a very polite manner and yet they are adamant? Yeah, blow. Yeah, blepa. And that is what I kind of like find difficult, especially when people cannot just take a no for a no. And they want to pursue. They want to pray about it. There are people who are taking people to prayer camps and sings just because the person said a no. And you are thinking that what? The person will change their mind. People go to the extent of even hypnotizing, using other, I don't know if it is chanting of cosmic powers, just to get somebody. And I'm thinking that, are we that selfish? Do we think of the other party's opinion? Are we entitled to just what we feel? Can we strike a balance between the things we are dealing with? Or you think, oh, it is a woman's thing. They'll tell you, you are not my type, you are not my type. Let them get to age 34. They'll be chasing you. And I kind of find that conversation very 20 and 25. This is somebody who has a tall list of the kind of man he wants. Then the person hits 30 to 36. And the kind of list she had when she was 20 to 25 is no longer relevant to the person. And then they are reducing the things on their list and settling for anything. I used to find it very amusing then, but now I don't find it amusing because I honestly think that if you have what you want and you're really trusting God for what you really want, and God has given you a promise that you're supposed to be holding on to, and it is not because you made the list out of your own personal feelings and whatnot. You know that at times you make a list and let that this way this is just you just being frivolous. There's nothing strong about the thing on your paper.
Yeah.
It is just out of share. Somebody says, okay, you should have this, so you have added it to your list. But there are times you have thought through it and you are still thinking, will I still find that person? Or is there a point that I would have to reduce it because, Charlie, you have left the calendar. The calendar ends at 31. Once 31 finishes on your calendar, 32, 33, then you are on your own. Haven't there been people that you know who honestly are still holding on to the things that they think is relevant and they want to see in the ideal man or woman they settle with? Must we go with anything at this point just because at 36, it's becoming extremely difficult finding that someone that you were so desiring when you were 22? Do you find it difficult? Extremely difficult. Let me lay emphasis on this. Honestly telling people that I think I like A, B, C, and D about you, but I don't like E and F. And E and F is very important to me. So start the courage to tell the person, you are not my type. And for me, I used to think you are not my type is insulting. But now I think through it and I'm like, don't you think it's rather the way we say it? Can we add a bit of politeness to how you say it without it sounding demeaning? And say that, oh, I like you for all the things I have mentioned. But when it comes to this aspect, I think we don't gel too well. So this is my humble opinion. And so can we go with this? The danger is that you might end up getting the person hate you the rest of their lives. There are people who are walking the streets of Accra and Ghana all embittered just because somebody says you are not my type. I want a rich man. There are people too who had to climb and do extra work on themselves and are rich because somebody turned their proposal down with you are not my type, and they knew that they had to work extra hard to get a certain level, to attain a certain level in society. For some, the you are not my type propelled them to becoming better people, especially if there are things you can work around. If the person say you ain't only cash, only cash and show, and the person tells you that I want a rich man who can do ABC and get me this apartment here, and you think you have what it takes to work and get that thing, emphasis on genuinely acquire all these things without cutting corners. Don't you think that lady did you a favor by making you know that your cash money was very low? So that's one there. I can't go with a poor man. But if the person says things like, you are too short, I don't like your color, that one, there's absolutely nothing you can do about it, especially when it comes to your physical appearance. And so you just take it like, oh, this is a person who does not want a short boy or a short woman. So let me say, see, we all afraid of rejection. We have been rejected at a point. Dominic, haven't you?
So many times. Sometimes, not even just in a relationship. But there are some people, they see you and you've not spoken, but looking at their facial expression, they are just pushing you away. It's like, personally, they don't know you, but they don't like you.
That is it.
They don't like you.
For reasons best known to them.
Exactly.
That's how come an employer who is looking for an employee will set out for the things he's looking out for. True or false?
True.
Must have this. Must have that. Must have that. And because at the end of the day, there's a bigger picture he's looking at. What will help the development of this particular organization? I mean, we can all be open about it and say, oh, can learn on the job. Can get smart with time. But we ask for experience. Sometimes we ask, where are we going to pick this experience from? Because the person knows that there's something you have to bring to the table. Yeah. And sometimes you are not my type. It's just that there's something the person wants you to bring to the table that you honestly do not possess. And so once you have that thing, they might consider, emphasis on consider, letting you come around the table. Sure. Some people are honest about it and they tell you, I'm not attracted to you. It's a way of telling you are not my type.
Sure.
But the issue is how we wish that we could accept it so easily without the danger of holding people in our hearts, without the danger of leading people on unnecessarily. I hear people say things like, oh, I was honest with him. I told him I didn't love him. He says love will grow over time. And now here we are. Yeah. Probably you taking the bitter pill at the initial stage of, I don't think I feel you like the way you're feeling me, would have ended your woes that you are thinking, can we try it? Can we make it work? Can we give it a little bit of time? And please don't get me wrong. There are people who gave it a little bit of time and it worked. Yeah. There are people who said, oh, you're not my type. Yeah. But over the period, mindset change. They started seeing things and like initially, I said you're not my type. But upon interacting with you over a period, but there are some people too, they have closed their mind. They won't even give you a period where they would expect that something would happen and then there will be change of mind and a change of philosophies and ideas. There are times that we push people to do our bidding when we know they don't want to do our bidding. They just don't want to get along with us. Yeah. They just do not want to be romantically involved with us. They just are being friendly and treading cautiously, but yet we are pushing them to the wall. Is there somebody you are pushing to the wall? Or is thunder and is by fire? Whether you like it or not, you have to say a yes. I can't understand this one part that you said I'm not your type. And see, we have all had a fair share of rejection and people being honest about it. But sometimes we fail to look at the brighter side of the you are not my type. And we tend to look at the negative aspect and we'll live all our lives wallowing in bitterness just because one lady was honest with you. Do you think that people set out to say you are not my type just to break you? You think people have an agenda of saying all these things just to make you feel less of a human being? You think people are honest when they say you are not my type, or just that they just want to say something to get you off their back? This morning we are talking, you are not my type. Why do people say you are not my type? Can you say you are not my type to an elderly man who is giving you wahala and you don't even know how to say it? Because this is somebody you are seeing as a father, grandfather, in between, he's your bigger brother or uncle. And they can just not get your message. And they are doing things that you don't like. And you keep telling them they won't budge. How have you coped over the period with all this "you are not my type" struggle? Is it something that you can easily tell somebody without offending them? Have you incurred the wrath of somebody just because you were honest with your feelings and you were like, can't you see that you are not my type? There are people who are hitting on us unnecessarily. And we just need a little bit of courage to tell them that I think I like you in this aspect. This aspect matters to me, which you kind of like fall short. Can we just keep this on a friendship basis? How difficult is it for the young guys, especially those who think that, oh, every woman is after the money? See, there are those who are genuinely after building a great future with you. There are those who are even looking your way that you are not looking. You are looking at slave queen. And they are telling you are not their type in a nice way. And you will not go away, rock of ages. And they are chopping your money. And the person had given you countless number of clues why you should stay off them. But you are not giving up because there is an agenda. This morning we are talking, you are not my type. Are you somebody's type? Who will be taster now? Or somebody is also thinking that you are also not their taste. What would make somebody say you are not their type? How offensive do you find such a statement? For me, I think it's not. It's how you say it. Yeah. But even when the person is polite about it and you are still on the matter, what can we do to such a person like that? Please let us know in the comment section. Let us know your views on this matter. Is there some issues that you are currently dealing with that you wish that you can tell the person in a polite way without hurting them? We'll be right back.
On Peny Radio, your number one online Christian radio station. Peny Radio, hope for the hopeless.
All right, so it's after Valentine's Day edition, and we are talking the moment that someone tells you you are not my type, and you are thinking that sometimes too people come your way and you are like, can't they see that? Hey, this man doesn't know my credentials. Why is he coming around places that he can't fit? And there are people today just want to try their luck. I mean, whether you have double masters, you have a 3 degrees or whatever it is, the person is coming with HND. There's something he has seen. Yeah. So it is your masters and your whatever you are talking on there. It is not part of the things that is scaring him at all. But do you think people have become a thorn in the flesh? For some of us ladies who are not married, especially I talk like this because I'm not married, and these are some of the things you have to grapple with on a daily basis. Okay, in as much as you were brought up to be respectful, there are times that you wish you were not all that nice and all that smiley, and you can tell people as it is. There are times that you feel like you wish umu adie kakra, so that people just do not see all Miss Nice, who is all being polite and all respectful and can, because there are some men or older men or young men who will not take no for an answer. But guess what? If there is no chemistry, there's no chemistry. Okay? If there is no attraction, there's no attraction. If you can't be with them, you can't be with them, especially when your reasons are valid. Somebody is asking me, what are valid reasons? It might differ. I mean, it's subjective. What might be valid to you might not be valid to me, okay? So you look at your standards, pair your standards. What are the things you want to work with? So somebody says, and you said you didn't like him because of this. Yeah, that is what he wants, or that's what she wants. And so you can't use your standard as a measurement for all other persons who are turning down things. And sometimes I honestly think we put a lot of pressure on people who are not married to settle with anything, especially when your biological clock is ticking. There are people who say that, hey, at 33 and 34, still and I'm thinking that even in my shop, children come to buy stuff and they know what they want. It's surprising. So most especially, I'll give a classical example with pens. So there's these two brands we have. We have Big Pen and we have Nataraj. They come with specific. And I'm thinking like every pen is pen. You are late for school, just get a pen and go and write with. But you know there are some pens when you are writing, who feel it, Papa? And you know those time BEC time and all that. There are some specific pens you know that one, it will enhance your handwriting. It has a way that when the time is even going, it doesn't slip off your hand. Because you have used it over time, you have tested, you know this is a pen for the action. There are some pens, if your handwriting is not even nice, it will enhance it. So I sit in the shop, then I used to think, Jennifer, go and write with it, what is your problem? But now they come, and if it's not a Nataraj pen, she won't buy. And we have other options, they are not buying. My time was a pen called Kofa. I don't know if it's still around. We write our names in it and we put it in the ham. It was between, and even now, Big Pen has even they have enhanced. I mean, Big has gone through a lot of revolution as a brand. It wasn't like this, you know, but we know that now Big has become a bit pointed. It's light and all that, because there are things people are looking out for in a brand. And so once the things are not present and other brands are providing what you're not providing, you have to look sharp. Sure. So the children will come. Now, forgive me, eraser is either it's Nataraj, it's expensive, it's 50 pesos. The kids will say, me pen Nataraj pencil. I'm like, okay, these kids know their brand. Yeah. They know what they want. Any other sharpener, if it's not Nataraj, if it's not this, they are not taking it. See, I'm making free advert for Nataraj and all that. And I am surprised. I used to tell them that just go for anything. And some will just agree. But later I realized that no, even at this point, they have a choice to make. Yeah. If this is a kind of pen he or she wants, can he have that? They come and are selling toffees in flavors. And they are specific. I don't like the blue one. I like the yellow one. Sure. And it's annoying, especially when you have to look through all those pile of toffees and choose yellow. Sometimes I sack them and say, take everything. And they are not too pleased when you give them all the things you want. And you are with children, you know it. Yeah. You give them toy phone against real phone. There is no way they are going to play. I mean, they know. They know what an iPhone is. They know the features. They know what games they can get on this phone and they cannot get on the other phone. So even as children, they have their own specs. I sit in the shop, people's like, oh, if it's not wheat Cerelac, they won't take. If it's not maize, they won't take. Yeah. Like the rice better. And I'm like, even babies. Babies have taste and have preferences. And then just because somebody has grown past the age of 30 and they are not finding that person they think, or they found people that they think they are not their type, and we are just talking them out of it. You might think what they need or what they so desire is frivolous for you, but maybe that's what the person wants. If the person says, I want a man who can pray 2 hours, and you're telling me it's not possible, and the person thinks that is all he needs in an ideal man, and he's willing and ready to fight and wait for that man who can wait, who can pray for 2 hours, so be it. Are we easily ready to accept the fact that people tell us that they do not have a vibe with us? Do we take that easily? Or do we go about mouthing that person just because they were honest with us? Either ways, once the decision comes, once the person is polite enough to tell you what it is, I think it's time to move on. Sure. Honestly. Please. Yeah, blow. Yeah, bleh. So it's time to move on. Move on means that, can you just leave them alone? there's no further reason to continue. Who continue kohe? And sometimes we are the people who push people to the wall that they'll become nasty with you. And this is not to say that I'm a subscriber to ladies who are nasty to guys. But sometimes somebody will say you have it up to here. And you know, you watch movies and you are pouring water on people. They'll come back again. They are going home to give them warning. They'll come back again. And you ask, what kind of love is this? Eh? What kind of love is it that they are pouring water and things on you? Will come back again. And for us, or for any woman, or for any man who has a girl on his case, and the person won't go, see, it's not a pleasant experience. It's not. Emotionally, it has a way of draining you. Psychologically, it does. Spiritually, it does. You have become like the wall of Jericho in somebody's life. You won't come down. Or Tower of Babel, you are not coming down. And so this person too has to add this to their prayer topics. When they are pressing things to pray for. I know that there are people who will not change their mind till they find what they are looking for. But don't you think it's time to change your mind? Especially when the person is polite and the person has given you the reasons why they can't be with you. Sure. If you want to continue, please, you're on your own. That is all I can say. You're on your own. Yeah. You receive your water bath. You receive all the things you want to receive. Because you see, at times we say that, oh, whatever it is a mouth that talks about the matter. But sometimes the mouth talks about it. And the mouth cannot get the results that it wants, and that's it. And there are people, just because of the pressure, they have succumbed to relationships that will quickly fizzle due to differences in interest. So there are people who have agreed, oh, you say it's me you want, okay, let's do this. Now you realize that it is one issue of, I can't do this with you. Your differences will come to the fore. The things that a person upholds as their values, as the things that they want to see in a man, which is absent in you. See, we cannot have everything. Okay. As I sit here, I cannot have all the men I want. Maybe I'm here feeling myself. There's somebody who is not feeling me at all. Because the person is thinking, oh, she talks too much. She's this, she's that. But there's somebody who is feeling me giddy giddy. So as you know, the hands are not equal. If you get somebody who is not feeling you as you are feeling them, and they are polite enough to let you know that this is how the thing might, to a point where people are not respecting people for their decisions. And it's worrying, especially when it comes to the matters of the heart. It is so worrying. People have become suicidal just because they do not want to accept one single fact. And you are thinking, Maxine, you think it's that easy? There are people who have gone through the mail and can tell you that, oh, it wasn't easy for me. But I respect the fact that you say we should be friends. If that is what will bring peace, let's do this. If that's what will make our friendship flourish, let's do this. There are people who are not willing to accept a relationship status, but are willing to say, I don't like you as a boyfriend or girlfriend, but I want to keep you as a friend. If that offer also comes along, can you take that? But in the interim, don't hope that because you have been given friend position, it might translate into something else. Because I'm sorry, there are times people are very entrenched in their positions. Friendship is all I can give. Friendship is all you can get. There are times that in as much as you think it might translate into something else, it can. It can. There are few occasions like that people have said, okay, can we be friends? Later on, it changed to something else. But if you meet somebody who is already settled in the mind, and sometimes it's like they have other people too. They are dating. What kind of evil spirit is this? I don't understand. Dominic, the person has told you, I have somebody. Leave me alone. That one too. You want to pray about it so that the man that he likes will go away. Is it not evil spirit? This is unspiritual. It's unholy.
Yeah, it's true. You know, I don't know if I would say that the Christians, okay, once the person, this is what I want, and they say that whatever you need, you get. So pray without ceasing.
Hey.
you close your eyes onto something, and then the good things, and the one you are looking at, that's not for you. So sometimes we pray without doing the listening.
Yeah.
That's what the issue is.
And you see, that's the pattern. You know, there was this time some years back on campus. There's a prophecy like that. The lady came out and it was like there was a Christian brother who was pursuing the lady. Meanwhile, the lady had a boyfriend who was preparing to marry her. And she was brought forward that there's this guy who is praying about her, and that the Lord says it should be revealed to her that he will marry the first one. So brother was just waking up and praying in vain. And because you see, whatever it is, the Lord has plans for everyone.
Yeah.
And so you cannot, how do you say it in English? You cannot chin the hand of God in your favor. Or there are times you can.
You know,
wrestle.
Once it's not for you, it's not for you. And that's the most dangerous part.
Yeah.
You force yourself into it, and then things are not working for you.
Yeah.
And then you come back to, that's why when you come back, God will tell you that, son, I was trying to talk to you, but you did not listen.
That's it. Because sometimes it's like you don't even want to look at any other options.
Yeah.
Her or nobody else. Him or nobody else. And I'm thinking that, why? Was she made for you? And you are made for me, and I can't live without you, and all those things. And I'm thinking that, see, life is good though.
Yeah.
Life must go on. There are women who have rejected men. And now it was even a blessing for them in disguise.
Exactly.
There are women who have men had rejected. And then you could not just fathom what is it that the other woman has that I don't have. What is it? What school has she attended that me have not attended? Sometimes it's not about the school and what she has and what is not her.
That is it.
It is about you knowing that there's a special plan for you. We fail to look at the special plan God has for us. Sometimes it's always about what we want. And we are not even ready to repent of what we want that is not even godly mandated, if that's a word like that. It is just born out of our own selfish interest. We are making people use verbal violence on us.
Yeah.
Now you tell the person, I don't want you, you're not my taste, you are not, the person's all listening, and the person starts insulting you. And we are turning people into monsters, in quotes, just because we cannot just get a simple, and somebody say, oh, women, that's how they are. Keep pushing, the person will get tired and give in. And for how long? And for how long? Please, can we refrain? It might not be the best answer to this question, but can we try and refrain? When you proclaim love to somebody, or you think you like somebody and they do not like you, and they tell you and they are honest with you, and you are just thinking that this got to change because it's you or nothing. Can we also open our eyes to other people who are all around us?
Exactly.
Who have what we may probably even do not know that they have what we want. Are we just fixated? It is that girl in that ministry. It is that woman in that bank. It is that something else. When the feeling is mutual, Charlie, that one no counts. And we just saw lotto. 6, 7, where do you cram? But when the feeling is not mutual, and the person is trying as much as possible to let you know that, can we keep this on a friendship basis? Can we just respect it? It's Random Thought with Maxine this morning, and we are talking the number of times that for the sake of those who are not even married, and not for us, there are people who are even married, and people are constantly pursuing them. And I'm thinking, is there, maybe, see, in the past you have pursued some married women who are given in. But this particular one, she won't give in. Or he won't give in. This married man is not giving in. Can we just let people be? And I know me, till I get what I want, I don't stop at whatever I want to do. Okay, that's your lot. If that's the path you want to take, I mean, that's your lot. But at the end of the day, please don't say I didn't warn you. When people are extremely nasty with you, because that's what it is. Sometimes people say, don't push me to the wall. We push people to the wall. And the people are at the brink of just saying something. And that is when you are not careful, they will say things that will hurt you.
Yeah.
And you go back thinking, this is heartless. I mean, how can you say this to me? We'll be right back.
Peny Radio.
Hello, so welcome back. It's Monday and you're doing a talk on are you my type? Osha.
Oh yeah.
Also my enemy. When you say it in the local dialect, it sounds some way.
Yeah.
Like when somebody tells you, also my enemy. Hey, now I won't check who. But you know, sometimes it's out of a lot of anger.
Yeah.
You know,
like
it's not that, frustration. Like the person has said whatever they want to say. And Cratchit says, no way.
No.
One, I may worry. So there's a joke my roommate used to share with us. The guy was all confident that, as for this lady here, or can I befa? Then he came over one night and said, who said, wow, name is standard. Then the lady was like, you know, this back and forth thing. Okay, so what I said was in English was that the guy thought was all confident and that as for that particular lady, it was a cool chop. Once he says it, the lady must say yes to him. So the lady was also polite enough to say, okay, please, in all humility, I don't love you. Then the man was like, me saying. The man said, why don't you like me? Because I have searched and I have looked. Wow, name is standard. No, like so there's a standard amount, and standard that's what the people think.
Yeah.
That okay, I have a good job. You don't like me. Why?
Why?
I'm tall. You don't like me. Yeah. But in other news, there are other women who are dying, and you are using that formula to apply to every single lady and think, wow, name is standard. So there are times you think, oh, you are the standard. You are the ish, and that's the part that hurts. Yeah. I'm sure this guy will go to his room and cry all night because there's some permit say she show me you who say wow name is standard. And so sometimes people think they have done a good job. They have been observing you. Wow, you almost standard. And now you're telling them different story that you are not my type. Hey, who says that to a man who thinks you are his standard? But sometimes you feel she's your standard, and she's also thinking you are not my standard. And so for me, I'm just worried about how it's said. But sometimes we'll be very honest. There are people who push you to the wall till you are nasty with them. And that's the part that I don't really want us to get to. Because I think the person does you a lot of favor, tons of favor. When right from the onset, they tell you that I don't like you in this way. I don't have a chemistry around you. There's no attraction. Can we keep this on a friendship basis? Nobody wants to be rejected. Granted. Nobody likes it when somebody tells them that you are not what I am looking for. You did not pass the interview. You want to know the reasons. Why didn't you take me? Sometimes people are honest enough to even give you the reasons. Sometimes they don't give you the full reasons. I think they should not. The reasons are best known to them. Sometimes I even think that when they give you the reasons, can you deal with it? There are some of the reasons I said, my sounds flimsy to you, my sound flimsy to you. Like, oh, you're too short, you're too fair. These things, you can't do anything about it. So the person tells you stuff like that, then you know that, Charlie, the person's mind is made up. But if there are things like, oh, I don't really like your academic qualification, and you think you can move a step further, with the time you have, you can go back to school and acquire some certificates. Super. But if you think there's nothing you can do about it, and that's the part I want you to get to. Yeah. If a woman likes you, a man likes you, sometimes they like you for all the things you have and all the things you do not have. So if the person is telling you, I don't like you for what you do not have, know that, Charlie, it is a no-go area for you. Ego must be bruised or might be bruised. You might look like, me and Peny are bouncing, part of life. Move on. Life still goes on. With or without the person that you are vibing or you are feeling. It's not as easy as I am saying it, but I think it gives you a lot of, and women tend to respect guys who respect such decisions. Yeah. When she tells you that this is how it is, can we keep it like that? And you respect it, it works for us. Sure. The level of respect we have for you climbs a step higher than what already was existing. So for you to earn that respect and not dirty yourself, please, dirty yourself with one same topic. Can you keep the relationship as the person wants it? It is friendship they are offering, and they cannot offer any other thing else. Can you just respect that? We are failing to respect a lot of decisions, people's opinions on matters, and we want to shove the things we want down their throats, which for me is not cool. Whether the person has passed the age of menopause and the person says, this is not what I want, please, can we stop talking people into doing things that they don't want? Sure. Just like the children come and I suggest any other brand. Somebody says, you're not a good marketing person. See, sometimes you market the product, they'll tell you that no, that is all they the first one is what they want. And it's like you did not give them options. You gave. Sure. But at the end of the day, the decision solely lies with them. This is what I want, that is what I want. And can we respect people for the decisions they make, especially regarding matters of the heart? Sure. It's not easy. But you see, it will be better than to wallow in shallow-mindedness, thinking that the person likes you. They will chop your money. They will give you heartache. They will do all the nasty things they can do to you. Sometimes you see a guy who is being mistreated by a girl, and you're thinking, what is it with this girl? Or what is it with this guy? Just because maybe from the onset, I told the person I didn't like him, and you forced me, and we did this, and it didn't work. Now, the problem has compounded, which was just you dealing with a single rejection, nursing your pain, moving forward, and finding the person who best suits what you really want in a man or a woman. It's Random Thought with Maxine, and thank you so much. Are we done? Dominic, is there something you want to add?
Just something little.
Sure,
but I think it's something that you've even mentioned. You know, that there are times, it's not all the time that things go away. You get it? And there are some people, I had a friend, okay, when he was dating someone and they broke up, and we're thinking, no, these people, but then the guy told me that he assessed the relationship and got to know that the way they are too tight, okay, and they are always indoors, and they said, if we stay, you'll be happy, but we'll be broke and we'll disturb our children.
We'll be baby.
Exactly. No, and so they agreed, and then they had. So I think about 2 months after they separated, the lady got married and the guy went outside of Ghana. So he came back to Ghana in 2019 to also get married, and the lady and the husband were there at the wedding.
Wow, that's beautiful.
You get it? So it's not always that, because you click, because you click.
No,
you also need to look at the future.
Exactly.
So if the person keeps rejecting or resisting you, get to know that maybe the person has seen something that he or she is not too comfortable with. So just let it go. It's not everything you pray for that you get.
No, and it's not like it's a decision that comes with ease, especially letting go.
Yeah.
And doing a project actually catch your mommy. Like, because this is somebody you have built. And that's the point I want us to get to, that you don't get to the point where you build something that should not have been built.
Exactly.
Exactly. Like, in as much as it feels like it's wasted years, you know that you should even have started with a foundation.
Yeah.
You know, because the foundation is weak. It's premised on something that is non-existent, because the person is not feeling in a certain way. And then we are building. Then you just realize that you get to a point, there's no money for building materials. And then the foundation, because it's weak, you have to strengthen it with other things. And it is so much work, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So thanks to Dominic for that example. Sometimes it is just for the future.
Yeah.
It's not here and now. The person is Titi Abrabo. You know, ordinarily, you don't want to settle with a man who is older than you.
Yeah.
Just because maybe for the sake of respect and all that, you can't tell the person, like, okay, let's just give. Then finally you are living with somebody who is controlling, who is taking advantage, or who is leaving all his burdens on you. Are thinking, I shouldn't even have started it. So for me, you are not my type. It's a way of telling you that we should not start something that will not take us anywhere.
Sure.
Once I acknowledge and recognize that A and B and C are things that I need to see and they are non-existent, can we go a separate way?
Sure.
Please, can we move on? Can we move on without, what's the word? Coming back to bother the people. It's possible to move on quickly. It's possible to move on slowly. It's possible to even find yourself during that period. We have all had our own level of disappointment. But it is better to be disappointed at the early stage than to start something and travel a whole mile before you realize that this is where the disappointment awaits you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. We'll be back on Wednesday with another edition of Random Thought with Maxine. It's always a pleasure connecting with you. And please keep safe, keep maxing up, observe all the safety protocols, and thanks for your attention. We love you.